Well, I mean, I think it's the easiest genre to work with if you've got a limited budget. I thought it was easier to compete with Hollywood-looking films in this kind of genre. I mean, it's like a common practice for low-budget horror films to do well. You got your Paranormal Activity. I mean, that was shot for nothing. We wanted to just make something that looked a little bit cooler than that. We wanted to stretch our budget as much as we could. We found this great location. It was this in South Africa. There's lots of government facilities that are just rotting there. So we walked into this hospital, and there were gurneys and X-ray machines that still worked. It's called the Kempton Park Hospital. It's this urban legend around Johannesburg where people sneak in on Friday nights to go and look for ghosts and stuff like that. And yeah, we couldn't believe that no one had actually. People had shot movies there before, but people hadn't done a film specifically for this place. And I mean, it was just this wealth of texture that you need millions of dollars for, and it was just lying there. I mean, we didn't even need to rent generators. There was still electricity there. Well, we didn't want to just do like a normal kind of 6 stupid teenagers run into an abandoned hospital and bad stuff happens to them. We wanted to make like a little bit more of an intricate story. And stretch our imaginations about what could a place like this be used for. I mean, what is the darkest kind of most sinister thing that this environment could be used for? It's tucked away. The government hides this thing away. Let's do a film about an evil government corporation. We knew we wanted to do a zombie film. We just didn't know what kind of zombie film. We had a couple different locations in mind, and then when we found this one, we knew, okay, we have to do it here. And then we started drawing on, the films that we all enjoyed. We thought like were the best zombie films in the genre, and we picked and chose like different aspects, and it kind of all just came together. It was like a very organic process once we found the location. It kind of dictated to us the direction in which we would have to go. The casting took place fairly quickly. We knew we didn't have the money to afford, like top-notch South African actors, so we knew we needed to find people that were hungry for the roles, and we knew these people would actually find us. We put out a casting call, and we were looking for people who would fight to be in this film, and then we got to choose who we wanted from that. You get a group of very ambitious actors together. They're each going to bring like a lot to the table, and we had a lot of different personalities here. I mean, when you write a script, it's only 2 people for us. There were only 2 people writing the script, so only 2 real personalities came through. But now when you cast the film and you bring like this really eclectic group of actors together, each one's bringing his own voice to the table. And what I was really impressed with the actors was that they took the words on the page and they made it their own. They molded the dialogue, they molded the actions to what their characters would do, and it took like a lot of relief off me as a director because they were so ambitious in creating a meaty role for themselves. I think the scene that stands out for me was the first time we had a zombie on set, and we kept the makeup department very separate from the actors that were going to be performing, and the first time I thought we were onto something really cool was when we filmed the scene. Well, we filmed the shot, and the actors actually saw the zombie for the first time, and they just freaked out. And that was really, really awesome for me. Obviously, coming from South Africa, it's a really violent country, and surrounding this hospital, there's a whole community. And the day we organized to have our blank guns on set, the one producer didn't clear it with the local police department. So we were busy we're shooting zombies, we're going crazy, and one of the old ladies who lives across the road phones in to report that there's a crime going on in this abandoned hospital. So we're busy taking a shot, and the South African Police Service barges in through the doors, with their AK-47s ready to like declare war on this like little film shoot. Because of the budget, we had to sacrifice things like, not material things, but things that cost the film, like time. You didn't have time to reshoot if you weren't happy with the scene. Time to really get the production design looking slick in places. When it started to rain, you had to just keep pushing forward, keep shooting, without without contingency or anything like that. So I think the biggest restraint was time. We were happy with the equipment we had and stuff like that. We didn't know better. If we had $1 million, $2 million to make this film, it would have probably been the same film. That's the level we were at the time. I'm sure it's terrifying to show any film to an audience, but when you've got a film that's made on such a low budget, you're so aware of the flaws, you're so aware of what you wanted to achieve, but you couldn't. So I think it's more difficult to show a film that's made on such a limited budget. And I'm not talking like a limited budget like Saw that was made on like $1.2 million or something like this. This film was made for nothing. So you're very aware of the problems. So it's terrifying watching it with an audience. But on the other hand, it's extremely rewarding when the audience reacts the way they have so far. There is one scene where the cinematographer and I we differed on how to shoot this thing, and it's a scene where they escape on the rooftops, and I've never ever just been able to be happy with that scene. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. The time was against us, and we had to make it work. That's what directing is. Anyone can sit down and draw up a storyboard for a 3-minute scene with 100 shots and go, oh, this is how I'm going to shoot the film. But when the card's on the table and you've got 5 hours to shoot this scene, you've got to choose what shots you want, and that's where the real battle begins, and you've got to hope those shots that you choose are the ones that work. The best moment for me on set was, every day we were shooting it on DSLR, so it was easy to convert footage, and we'd bring the footage on an iPad the next day for the cast and crew and the investors to see the progression of the story. So it was really great watching everyone interact with the footage, everyone commenting. It became a very open kind of forum for making the best film possible. Another moment that stands out for me was when our key grip, Hayden, who hadn't read the script, was following the one character's progression, and he learned that the character was going to die that day. Just to see his face being so upset and stuff the character he was rooting for was going to die was quite a cool moment. With regards to the ending of the film, I just wanted to make it a little bit sinister, a little bit devious. I didn't want to try and pull a fast one over the audience. There are clues throughout the film that build up to the end. And you can interpret it in many ways. It's up to you and how the film affects you.